Welcome to the next edition of our Foundation Speaker Series. I'm Amber Goss, and today I'm excited to be able to introduce to you Andrew Kalahanis, Director of Innovative Programs for Commonwealth Charter Academy, or CCA as they're also known. CCA is a K-12 public cyber charter school in Pennsylvania. CCA's mission is to deliver a customized learning experience that prepares students to succeed in school and in life, whether they choose to attend college, a technical school, enter the workforce, or serve our country by enlisting in the military. Welcome, Andrew. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited about this opportunity, and I'm confident it's going to be very beneficial for everyone who's listening in to this recording.
Certainly.
So, thank you for the great introduction. You also spoke for me. So CCA is a great public cyber charter school, and how we feel schools should work. And we did start in 2003 when we got our charter. Obviously, we are under PDE, and we consider ourselves pioneers in the public cyber charter education. And we are accredited by the Middle States Association of Colleges and Schools. And right now, we're over 18,000 students at the K-12 level, and actually close to 1,000 staff members that serve our families across the state. And of course, we are a free public cyber charter school, so there's no cost to families who'd like to enroll with us. And this is just a very, very quick visual of our distribution, where our families are. And you can see those little stars are our family service centers. And our model is, our teachers and staff actually report to buildings and work out of, offices and cubicles, because we like our staff to interact with each other while they're serving families. But today is really about talking about careers and opportunities, and giving students some guidance on, what is the best strategy? Like when you're a high school student, where do you begin? So, we do have career readiness programs here, and we've identified 5 career pathways, as you can see here: arts and communication, business and finance, information technology, engineering and industrial technology, human services, science and health. Now, these are broad, but we believe that these are the 5 pathways that first of all, are very important and will be in demand in years to come. And of course, we collaborate. My department, the Innovative Programs Department, collaborates with our school counseling department. And we do have what traditionally is known as dual enrollment. We call it college and the high school courses. So our high school students can take college courses while they're in high school. And the point of that is that once they identify, with my team's help, what they want to do after high school, they can take the appropriate courses while they're in high school, of course, at a discounted rate, or maybe at no fee, which is, just a big money saver for them before they go into a degree and they have to pay their own tuition. So there is a college and career planning, and that's more us. And what we do is we try to identify what students want to do. And there's a great way to do this. And then this is anyone listening in can do as well. Something that you probably are aware of, I know there was a colleague of mine who spoke about our AgWorks facility, and we have TechWorks, which is going to be opening up very, very soon in the Pittsburgh area, and MedWorks in the Philly area. And this is part of our Works vision, because we believe that there's a lot of opportunity out there for students beyond that traditional 4-year university track. So there are a lot of great jobs which really need minimal training. It might be a certification after high school or while in high school. It could be a path through a pre-apprenticeship and an apprenticeship. And I'm going to talk more about that now. So what is career readiness and exploration? So what we do here at CCA is we have students complete an interest survey. And an interest survey, we use the ONET, but there are many other ones that are available. Basically identifies careers that are a good fit for a student's personality. The questions are at that level. It's not about math or writing and, how good your grammar is. it's basically, I mean, I know the first question is, do you like building kitchen cabinets? And the student would, reply, dislike, not sure, like. And that's a level of questioning. And the results are very important because what happens is it populates 5 different zones. Jobs that require a high school diploma, maybe some kind of special training, an associate's degree, and so on. So once we look at those results with students, we sit down and analyze these and, have a conversation with the student, because a lot of students really don't know what a lot of those jobs are, on that printout. And what we do is we have students review those careers and learn more about them through a website that I have here called careeronestop.org. And this website is sponsored by the U.S. Department of Labor. And it's a great website because there's a little video about a summary, a minute and a half summary of what the job is. There's a little written summary. And what that main page has is basically information about the salary. What will a person who wants to become an accountant, a plumber, an engineer, an electrician make as far as starting salary, mid-range, end of career? What kind of education will someone need? Will the job be around 10, 15 years from today, right? Sustainability, because there's no point of getting trained in something or getting certification that you won't be able to use, and you've invested, your time and your money in that. And on Career OneStop, it also talks about the skills required to do a job. And why is this important? We found that there are many students who graduate from high school with not a lot of direction on what they want to do afterwards. So they might go to college because it's kind of the normal thing to do. Maybe the workforce, maybe the military, get a job at a Walmart or a Burger King or a McDonald's, but with really no direction. What we do in our program here, and we advise you to do as well, is educate yourself while you're in high school. So you're planning what your next move is, and obviously going into a career that's not going to be a job, because if you enjoy doing something and getting paid for it, then really it's not work. So the important thing is, after that process where you research your careers, it's a great idea to actually talk to a real person. So let's pretend you want to become a plumber. So it's very important to try to find plumbers in your area, right? Maybe someone in your family, a family member, a relative, and speak to that person. And what you want to do is try to get an informational interview, maybe an hour, half an hour on the phone, or, in a platform like this. Maybe that person can give you a job shadow, an internship, or even a mentorship. And here's the reason why. When a student speaks to a real person, okay, so if you've done your research on Career OneStop, the pay's good, maybe it's a 2-year degree in associates to be trained as a plumber, or a special certification. Maybe there's a pre-apprenticeship, right? You want to talk to that person and learn the things that are not available on the internet. Like, what is it really like to be a plumber? You got to get under a sink, and, you got to buy your own tools, because that's the most important information that I think is of value, because you can walk away with that and say, you know what? I did my research. Seems like there's job opportunity. It's a high in demand job. I spoke to a real person, and I think this is what I want to do after high school. Just as beneficial is shadowing a plumber or a nurse or anyone and coming back and saying, oh my goodness, I thought this was a great job, but after I spoke to a real person and found out you got to be on your feet for 16 hours and there's a night shift, I don't want to go into this profession. And the reason why that's important is that this way you haven't invested your time and money in getting trained for a career, starting that career, and finding out a year or two in doing the job that I have to quit, okay? Because we know a lot of people that were trained for certain careers, got a degree, went into the career, and then stopped doing it, and they're doing something else. So here's some really important things to consider. The first thing you want to find out is, what are the high-end demand professions? And more so, what are the professions that don't necessarily need a college degree, okay? And that means you're not investing, $30,000, $40,000 a year into a college degree, because remember, if you invest that kind of money, whether it's a student loan, you will be responsible for paying off that loan. So there might be some options for you, again, based on your interest survey, right? That might not need you to invest a lot of money, and you might be getting that same starting salary. So a great website that we use is that you can see there, starttheconversationhere.com. It lists all the high in demand professions in Pennsylvania. Something else that you want to know and research is there are companies that will train people who are interested in going to that career. They will pay to train you. You won't have to invest anything as long as you show up, have a great work ethic. So make sure you research things like this. Another great thing that our students participate in are pre-apprenticeships, which lead to apprenticeships. And the difference is that apprenticeships are paid. So maybe you want to go into nursing, right? Maybe you want to become a truck driver. Maybe you want to go into manufacturing, becoming an electrician, or any job. It's really important to see if you can land a pre-apprenticeship where basically you will get some kind of certification. It's typically entry-level, introductory, about construction, manufacturing, whatever that pre-apprenticeship is. And first of all, it'll give you a good idea about what that job is really like. Companies are typically connected to pre-apprenticeships where they will interview you and say, hey, what did you think about your experience, this year doing it? And you might say, I'd like to go into manufacturing. And then they will enroll you into an apprenticeship program, which is paid. They pay you, right? And you could come away with a certification after 2 or 3 years and then land a job, full-time job with benefits. So keep these things in mind as well. And this is what I want to finish up with today. I've gone to a lot of seminars, a lot of meetings with professionals, industry partners, CEOs, and what employers are really looking for, are some basic skills. And I have 8 here that I hear about all the time. And one of the most important ones is that, are you someone that is a critical thinker? Can you solve a problem? They're looking for people to help improve something in their company, right? You're working for someone and you see something, say, we can do this in a better way and maybe save the company some money and maybe more efficiently, right? So employers are looking for people with great ideas, who are thinkers. They're looking for people who can play well with others. That means if you're working in any professional environment, the expectation is for you to get along, right? Get along with other people. Don't be confrontational. Learn to work in teams. Collaborate. Be open to collaboration. Number 3 is the most important thing is, if people are paying you to show up to the job, it's important for you to put in a good day's work. Show up on time in the morning. Make sure you come back the next day. Something I hear from employers is they have that turnaround number. Like, people come, they don't stay, they go, then they have to go through the hiring process again. Make sure that when you work for someone and you know that's going to be your career, that you're committed to it. Believe me, if they see that commitment and you're showing up every day on time and, putting a good day's work in, they will promote you before you ask for a promotion. In almost every industry, it's important for you to be able to speak well and write well, right? It doesn't matter what the job is, but at some point you'll need to write an email to a colleague, maybe to a supervisor, maybe to a customer. So it's really important that you know how to express yourself verbally if you're speaking to someone over the phone or in person, but also in written language. So if you don't value, your English classes while you're in high school, you should start right now because these are transferable skills. The next one is willingness to learn. What employers tell me is, we just want people who are open for us to train them and say, hey, would you like to participate in professional development? And any professional development, anything you learn on the job is a skill set that you have up here, but also on your resume. And that's a leveraging point for you to apply for a higher position for more money. Number 6 is really important. You'll get a pat on the back from your employer once in a while, but on the same level, you might get some criticism. Hey, you're doing a great job here, but this is what you need to work on. It's really important to take constructive feedback or criticism with a smile, be thankful, and make sure you follow up and improve on the area that you were advised to. I mean, that goes a long way. The last 2 is leadership. If you want to move up in a company, show initiative, be confident, show that you're ambitious, that you want to learn more. You want to move up in the company, you want to make a bigger impact. Employers love that, okay? They want to move people up to a supervisory level. And again, number 8, which I talked about earlier, which is close to 3, is reliability. There are some companies where you're not going to be managed like a micromanagement kind of system. You'll have work to do independently. The expectation is for you to, deliver, right? This is the deadline. So make sure wherever you are that you're managing your time between your personal life and your professional life, getting the job done and being able to work independently or not. But, when there's a deadline, make sure you meet it. In red, I put something intentionally. And this is something that I've had discussions with. There are people who apply to jobs and they have an advanced degree, a bachelor's, master's degree, a doctoral degree, but they don't have any hands-on experience. Employers have told me that they would prefer someone who has hands-on experience in the job they're applying for, and they will hire that person over someone who has a higher level degree with no experience, which takes us back to my point earlier about the pre-apprenticeship, the apprenticeship, the job shadowing, right? Learn the skill, learn some of the skill sets. So when you're negotiating a job, you're saying, yeah, well, I have this associate's degree, which is my formal education, because in some professions you need, right, a certification, industry cert, or a degree to be able to get in that door, okay, because there are regulations. But what the employer is going to hear, say, oh, I see that you spent 6 months shadowing a plumber, or you spent 6 months working, as an apprentice in this engineering firm. So please remember that. And the last thing I'm going to finish up with today is what I have, that quote, which is, again, it's not mine. It's from a whole panel of employers in a big industry. And their message was to all the educators and the workforce development people who attended that big conference, to anyone looking for a job: if you have the will, we'll teach you the skill. So even if you walk through a door and you say, I did research on your company, I want to be part of your company, or I want to do this job, but I don't have any training. I'm 18 years old. I just graduated high school. If you go in with a positive attitude, they will train you. They'll say, hey, thank you for considering us. You can start tomorrow, and they will pay to train you as long as you're willing to learn and work productively. So that's it for me. I don't have anything else to add. If you have any questions, follow-up questions after this presentation, and you'd like to contact me, my contact information will be provided to you. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us. And certainly all these tips are useful for all of our students, and, definitely things they can take and utilize in the real world scenario. So thank you. We appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
If you're interested in connecting with Andrew or learning more about career readiness opportunities, he would be happy to have you reach out to him, as he just mentioned. We will be displaying his contact information at the end of the video, or you can reach out to our offices to be connected with him. Thanks for watching.